Hello, greetings. This is Gilles Monsieur. I wanted to come and say hello. Wish you a good day. Yesterday, I felt the need to speak of some ideas about immediate solution to some of the great political problems of our times, but in many sense, I feel I'm going to have to put all those ideas into a book, so they're black and white, so it will be a lot easier through times. They will understand the value of those ideas. For often I'm presenting my own thoughts and ideas as just my own personal ideas, little thoughts, but in essence, they're very essential, very powerful thoughts that we'll come to discover in times, that the value of this self-empowerment, the law of one, the law of love, and so those are very powerful ideas. It is just sometimes I have this mountain complex. Maybe I'm trying to be too humble, and it's like it's a philosophical syndrome. Michel de Montaigne is an exquisite philosopher. That had he was extremely, he has this problem. I do feel when I read his book that he was over humble. So it's like I'm gonna, not to say that I need to be anything else but humble, for I do not know all that much. Of course, the challenge is to stay focused on the light, to stay focused on the essential, on the love, on the light, and yet to prepare the first contact, the golden age, and as well explain the ins and outs of the world. When we discover some truth about something that can enlighten the situation, it is good. We have to use that to assist, and so it is important not to let things go. If we have a solution, we need to offer it somehow. So we have to find throughout our day moments where we can canalize, understand, feel those little moments of joy, this little moment of bliss, this little moment of grace, this little moment of feeling very lucky, this feeling of this is beautiful. And those moments, we cultivate that until our whole day will be eventually filled with that. The highest wisdom for us today is completion. So we have to complete the cycle. What we need to understand is surrender. We need to, what is hybris, what is too much. Once we let go of the ego and let God, everything flows. It's not easier said than done. Of course, it's part of the process. But it is essential to understand that, to let go of all that is hybris. For once we let go of all the layers of conditioning and the layers of shadows that we may still have on our consciousness, once the veil will fall, we'll see we are beautiful beings. We'll love each other. We'll love ourselves. We'll fall in love with ourselves. Our true self is quite brilliant, quite beautiful. It's just a matter of removing all the layers. It's like an onion. There is so much to remove before we find our true self inside of us. So it's part of the process to let go. What we need to do is connect to our master guide. Our master guide is the guide that has possessed the wisdom that we need in order to educate us. We have made special agreement with our master guide, and our master guide is really here to assist us in relation to all that is spiritual. Then we have an earth pathfinder guide who will assist us on all those situations of the earth. So when you need something, or you may ask your guardian angel, he will direct you to any guides also, whatever. But it is important to call on your guides, to use your guides for that is really what I seek. I seek freedom, but I seek alignment with my soul plan. I seek alignment, and what I'm seeking the most is alignment with my I am presence, to be more connected to my guide, to my soul family, and those are really my spiritual goals. Then I have to work on my earth plane matter. For a long time I thought to invest in my own inner self, but the outer life is essential. I have to work in making my life. I have almost neglected a lot of aspects of my physical life because I was so implicated inside of me, but now I know the universe wants me out there. It wants me under the spotlight, and so I'm getting ready for that. I always thought you live better when you're not in the spotlight. You have more pleasure to grow and develop your privacy and all those things, but at some point there is a responsibility that needs to be assumed, and so this is the direction we want to move towards. Whatever our soul calls us to do, whatever sacrifice, for our soul will not always tell you things that are easy or that is fully doable, but we have to do our best to work with that. There is a great deal of awakening everywhere, in all government, in all societies, in all corporation, in all and they're really trying to reform themselves. So if the reform is successful, they will survive the shift. If not, they won't. And so So there is a great deal of challenge. Reality is self-created. We create and recreate it each and every moment, and so make a reality that is full of joy and love and happiness. Make it abundant. Make it focus on that. There is the only thing that we should be focused on is our freedom, our liberation. What does it take us? What would it take us for us to be free? What is needed for that? For now, we're creating individual and collective realities. The collective is there is a higher flow that controls the collective, but we have made soul agreement here that we decided we'll all come in the same form. Although human beings can be different from man to woman, from tall to short, from different color skin or whatever, we're all the same. We're all the same. We have a heart, we're brain, we're physical, we have same needs, and so God has put them. No matter where the soul would come from, this planet, there are souls coming from all over the galaxies, and this form was given to us so we can work out our problem, and once we work out those problems in this Earth form, we'll be able to solve all kind of galactic problems. So there is a great deal of meaning that is not yet revealed on why we are here and what we are doing here. We are ascending a planet that is and so it is a very great honor to be here. For we need to focalize on grace, on joy, and my vision, my personal vision, of course, here is to participate in the birth of a new renaissance. I have cultural project that will assist me to do that, bring about a new age, a golden age. I'm looking forward to move to Paris and to start the project there, but it is a global project that will unfold. I'm moving towards that with excitement, enthusiasm, optimism, faith. In many sense, where I need to talk about the Earth plane is because up there, the heavens has asked me to participate, to use whatever God has given me in terms of knowledge to go into the world and assist in whichever way I can. So that's what that's going to take me a little bit of adjustment, but I'm sure everything works in perfect timing. For I'm trying to offer new solutions for the future, a more hopeful future, understanding that all is created from consciousness. So as we open to the possibility of galactic communion, we do not need to wait for the whole world to be ready. We have that connection. We are invited to the ship, and so the galactics are very close. There's all kinds of things that are happening on the fourth dimensional plane that will clear up all kinds of negativity. Negative computer and artificial intelligence that needs to be removed and cleaned, but they've been conditioned the world, and so all of this is happening. For all the galactic are working through the Christ, working through the love, through the unity consciousness. And so we want to, because in a sense, God told me He wants this planet to be free. He wants His people to be free. He wants you to be free. The only way to free the world is to free yourself. You're the only person you can free is yourself. So let us free ourselves first. Let us fill ourselves with all that we need to know that from this God light, and not to pay too much attention to the thoughts that are habitual, and they will go eventually if we don't jump on them. So just we have to become very discerning. And what will it take for us to feel completely free? The idea is also to come out of a cocoon. We're inside this cocoon. We were ready to be born, and the birth is difficult. We are like we have to break free of the cocoon. It's not that hard. It's not that hard, but it's not that easy also because there is fear. We feel well in our cocoon. What's behind that? When we leave, we have to leave the cocoon. We cannot live stay all our life in the cocoon. So at some point we're gonna have to break the shell, and trust that and we'll find what we need on the other side, and we will. It is assured. It is just being humans. We do not see the future. Therefore, we do want to change. We do want better, but we are hanging on to what we have, and therefore the change is taking longer to come. Yes, I wanted to. So we're going to need to begin to establish protocol of communication with the galactic, and the people from the NASA are starting to communicate the fact that maybe extraterrestrial has always been here. Maybe they are a higher level of intelligence, and our radio telescope leave them completely indifferent. So they're preparing humanity for that. We're going to have to establish a relationship protocol so that We can begin, maybe not on the collective level, humanity may not be ready, but as individual level, there is enough light among certain groups to bring back certain ships from the federations, establish protocols for communication with the inner earth, and learn about the crystalline field. I'm going to pull a few cards with the Akash. I want to say behind me is called the Galactic Center. It is symbolic of the great galaxy of Orvonton and the Milky Way. And this is a great central sun, but our own central sun is called Alcyon. It's a star in the Pleiades, and it's aligning with our sun and connecting to the galactic sun. So in many sense, God has you cannot envision in any form that would represent God. For God is beyond, he's got no form, no aspect, but he takes all the form and all the aspect. Is an infinite being, so nothing can represent or describe God. But in many sense, there is maybe a way that's maybe easier than any other, is to imagine, if you were to imagine the communion with God, to see God as a great sphere of sacred light. A sphere of white, sacred white light. For within that is a process that we won't know that divine light until we are in it, but we can already work with it, and to know that it's always available. God is always available through many forms, first within ourselves, but also on a cosmic level. For we want to align with this great galactic center. That's the higher chakras. I'm going to pull a few cards for the chakras. See what may be said. For at the roots there is the farm, the ability to nourish ourselves and nourish others. On the navel, for the earth plane, it's a very powerful time. It is a biblical. So there is a great deal of meaning and power to connect to the one, whether it is Yahweh or Allah, or it doesn't matter how we call God. It is understanding the unity of God, the oneness of God, and to be instrumental to the more we can use our physical body to align with the plans of our soul and our spirit, and we will become more integrated within the function of serving. But we have to let go of all ego thing as well, which is vessels, messengers. And so here we have on the solar plexus, we have the healer. It's about accepting the healing, understanding the healing. It's like whatever needs to be healed. It's like put it in the sphere, see it, and put it in with a lot of love, and then you close it up and you let the love transform, and then you'll see whatever wounds can be healed that way. In the heart is spirituality and religion. Once again, we're returning to that connection to love, to light. That is for spirituality, we have to study spirituality, but we also have to practice. There is a work that needs to be done. If it's just a mental process of study, it's like love. We can understand love intellectually, but feeling love is much more important. So there is an inner work that needs to be done. It's not always pleasant, but it is important. And be patient, but work on yourself. It is important to do whatever work you are called to do, is to address it, if possible, the sooner, better than the later. On our communication chakra, we have the trial and rewards. So it's about balancing those things out, learning the lessons we learn, and receiving, to move in a receptive mode where we can receive all those things from spirit. Because whenever we're too busy, we're not in a receptive mode, and so we're going to be more. We're going to be receiving great codes on this end of this year, and so, but we're receiving it every day. Every moment of now. So it's just a matter of readiness, for all exists within the now of the one. What we see before us is Atlantis. Atlantis is the memory of civilization that was in fourth dimension. We lived in fourth dimension. We were immortal beings. We could spend thousands of years within any one single body. We were like connected to the crystal field. We could fly in the air. We were connected to the inner earth, the galactics. Of course, there was two societies on Atlantis. There were the Aryans and the sons of Belial, that were hierarchical, corporate, militarist formed. And there was the Atlara or Poseida, who were spiritualists and more like the first was more patriarchal, and the advanced civilization, the most advanced civilization of Atlantis, was more matriarchal. But we're going to be reconnecting to all this Akash, all this memory will slowly but surely return to us as we are ready to receive them. On the crown is the most important, because it opens to the upper planes, and here we have growth. We are growing. We have to live all our portals open, and so we are growing. We are every day we're integrating new codes. We're redefining a higher reality for ourselves and more positive vision for the future as well. What we have beneath our feet with the earth chakra is the wish. For we have made certain wishes, we have asked certain things, so now we have to be ready to receive them. And on the soul star, which comes to the future, we have the Celtic cards, which is the integration of magical powers, for the integration of the connection to nature. For you want to connect to God in your heart, but you want to anchor this knowledge of love in your heart, but you also want to anchor into the physical presence of the planet. So those are two forces, intelligent and loving forces, that we need to always ground our energy into the planet, ground the energy from the sky, from heaven, and then you ground it into the earth, and then the earth can use it in a more potent, the more we are creating this fifth dimensional matrix, the faster it will initiate the collective matrix, which will move us into a parallel reality where all things will become light, like in Matrix. At some point he gets to this epiphany, and then poof, he changed dimension. And so, of course, it's a Hollywood version, but the understanding we're moving into a realm of light that's far more beautiful than anything we can dream of. Well, for we have already dreamed it. When we sleep, we return. This is our true reality of our soul, the fifth, sixth, seventh dimension. Right now, we're exploring the third and fourth dimension, and soon we'll be moving into the fourth, fifth dimension. There's going to be a shift in dimension from the third to the fourth dimension for the planet. Today is trust in yourself. The Archangel Metatron. Trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. Trust your heart. Do what brings you joy. So simple enough. Huh? So let us work on that. I'm sure that shouldn't be too hard, and we will be. But we're enjoying it with humility. We're receiving each and every day those new ideas. I'm going to finish with a song. It's a song. It's a song that speaks about the being in the winter and wanting to enjoy the sunshine. And it goes like this. All the leaves are brown, and the sky is grey, I've been for a walk, on a winter's day, I'll be safe and warm, if I was in LA, California dream, on such a winter's day. I stepped into a church, I passed along the way. Oh, I got down on my knees, and I pretend to pray, You know the preacher likes the cold, He knows I'm gonna stay, California dream, on such a winter's day. So it's like a call. LA is calling me. I live 7 years there. I love LA. I feel very comfortable. I know I will return there shortly. I know Paris is very much what is calling me the most. I have this big project I want to start in Paris. I'm really looking forward to that, and I will make, of course, announcement when that happens. It should be imminent. I hope so. I hope it will be imminent, and we'll be able to move into a next level of life. Will upgrade all the living system as those things come about. Well, I hope this message was interesting to you. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you for everything. Namaste.